Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to take a look at this Soulforge and tell you what I think is worth crafting from there. Also going to take a look at this weekly event troop, the Giant Badger. Yes, it's almost like I've got my own personalised troop. Often going on about badgers in videos for some reason. Anyway, did you hear about the badger that won the lottery? He became a filthy rich badger. Oh dear. Okay. Giant Badger, what you got? Destroys a column, which is going to gain mana, and deals magic +3 damage to the last enemy and stun them, then pull both myself and them to the front. Okay, interesting. Gain 1 attack when an enemy casts a spell, become enraged when enemy dies, and reduce damage from skulls by 20%. So makes it somewhat more survivable in first place from skulls. Bit of managing, a bit of damage. The stun combined with that pulling to the front actually could be quite useful. It's quite situational, this. Quite often there'll be an enemy in last place who is stealthy or something. Quite often those teams that generate loads of skulls based on the colour of the opponent, things like that, they're often at the back and stealthy. And this puts a stop to that. So one more troop where you can drag that enemy to the front and really mess up the way that team works. So pretty useful in that kind of situation, but pretty situational. Therefore, Giant Badger, I'd love to give you more, but I'm going to give you a kind of average 5 out of 10. But he's got nice blue eyes and big sharp claws and sharp teeth and is furry and is a badger. Almost worth an extra point just for being a badger. But anyway, I'm not saying badger anymore. On to the next. Right, so you can upgrade this thing all the way to Mythic. Get enough if you can. It gives you another troop to get to level 20. That's going to aid your power level kingdoms in the long run. And I always like to grab Spoils of War while I'm here as well. Get some more gold, more event keys, more lovely treasure maps. Throw them to the badger. Let it eat the treasure maps. Right, let's jump into the Soulforge. Lots to do today. Already done one video on the troop nerf. Wow. Kind of came out of nowhere. Did not expect them to downgrade the already there Pathfinder troops. I thought they might nerf or adjust the spell on the new ones going forward, but did not expect them to kill off the ones effectively that were already there, like Charleston, like Secra, like Todd. But anyway, that's a different thing completely. Alright, let's take a look at the weapons first. We have a Badger Blade. I hope this is awesome. Deals damage to an enemy, boosted by brown allies and beast allies. Yeah, nothing fantastic. Have to look at the upgrades later. Don't get it from here though, get it from the Journey event. It's the tier 3, I think it is, weapon. Get it with gems from there. Much better than spending your hard-earned diamonds here, because it's going to cost you effectively more. And what is next? I'm not going to go over all the ones that are here all the time. They are in my Soulforge extra video. That'll be in a link in the description below. Elemental Bow. Deals damage to an enemy boosted by elemental allies, then creates a mix of 6 blue and green gems for each elemental ally. Uses yellow and purple, creates blue and green. So do make sure at least a couple of your other troops use blue and green, and then that's a pretty decent weapon. And I quite like the upgrades as well. Tangling, entangles the first troop when cast, and Leaf starts a Leaf Storm, which is green. So if you create all those gems, you're going to get more green than normal, which gives it a chance of looping as well. Oaken Crown. Deals damage to an enemy boosted by Forest of Thorns allies, then creates a mix of 6 green and yellow gems for each Forest of Thorns ally. So similar to the last weapon, this uses purple and brown, creates green and yellow. Make sure you've got a couple of troops using green and or yellow, and you'll be hunky-dory. Bow of Thorns. Remove all green gems with no effect, then deal damage to an enemy boosted by the amount of gems removed. If the enemy is from Forest of Thorns or the battle is in Forest of Thorns, deal a double damage. So kind of the anti-Forest of Thorns weapon, if you like. Can be useful though in those situations. Hammer of Force. Much better than the Hammer of Marshmallows, because that wouldn't be a very good weapon, would it? Well, it might be, because if you actually fed it to them, give it to them, they'd be busy eating, and you just go up to them and bang them on the head. Job done. Anyway, deals damage to an enemy, and there's a 4% chance to kill them, boosted by elemental enemies. Not overly keen on these ones that have the percentage chance to kill, not unless you can get it boosted up really high, but it's not going to be fantastically high because the boost ratio is only ×4. So you can have a 20% chance at best with that. So yeah, Nothing fantastic for me. What else we got? Anything else? Amethyst Band. Explodes magic +1 green gems. Grants a random status effect to all elf allies, then summons a elf troop. Do like these explodey summony weapons. Exploding gems gains mana for the team. Has a summon which can make your team safer just in case you lose somebody. And status effects as well. Yeah, pretty nice. I like them weapons. Thorn of the Gods. Explodes magic +1 green gems. Grants a random status effect to all Forest of Thorns allies. Then summons a Forest of Thorns troop. So a second option there on the explodey summony weapons. I do like the ones that have things like tangling and stuff like that. That entangles the first troop when cast. Hammer of Nature. Deal magic +1 light splash damage to an enemy, then create 7 green gems. So low mana cost. It can do well in a green storm because 7 green gems is not that much. That's almost as likely to set up the enemy as it is give you mana, but it is what it is, and it does have, again, tangling as it's one of its upgrades, which is pretty cool. Right, on to the troops now. Yes, let's have a quick look who we've got. Ooh, Pharos-Ra. A lot of people after him. Phoenicia. Ullor. Where's the fourth one? These are here all the time. Same reason as the weapons, not going over all the troops that are here all the time. They'll be in my Soulforge extra video in a link. So we've got Ullor, Phoenicia. There's only 3 mythics here today. Crikey, so we've got a downgraded bunch of troops to start the week with, and only 3 mythics in the Soulforge. Well, thank you very much, devs, everyone says. I mean, I've got all these, but for the people looking for certain troops, there's only 3 mythics here this time. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up. First up we have Ullor. Underrated troop. I actually really like this troop. Eliminates magic +1 attack from the first 2 enemies, the same amount but in magic from the last 2 enemies, and drain all mana from the 2 strongest enemies. The strongest enemy is the troop with the highest combined life and armor. That's actually a okay spell. It's really good for just effectively weakening the enemy, and it's actually better than it sounds, especially against some of those book teams and things like that. But the thing I really love about it is this third trait. Freeze and Faeryfy a random enemy when matching blue gems. Against teams that rely on loop or getting extra turns, really, really cool. Just simply match blue and you're going to Faeryfy and freeze an enemy. Really cool. And the Faeryfy, of course, can boost up the damage of your other troops at the same time. So, Ullor, do like him a lot. Phoenicia, really cool team, really good for certain explore teams and getting things done quickly. Deals damage to all enemies, boosted by red gems and burning enemies, and if there's a firestorm, deal double damage. The reason why she's so good is because in Sunspear class you can force a firestorm every single turn, which is really cool, and then guarantee that double damage. And also a 50% chance to burn a random enemy at the start of her turn is good in certain teams too. So really cool troop, Phoenicia. And Pharos-Ra. Very cool troop this, really good for early players. Souls are an absolute pain to get when you're an early player. Took me absolutely ages to get this troop myself when I started playing. But gains 150 bonus souls from battle. That really aids your troop progression, so really important if you're an early player to pick this up if you can. Don't really care about the spell too much. Transforms yellow gems to purple and does damage to an enemy boosted by souls and give 20 souls, but it's the fact that it gains 150% bonus souls from battle is one of the best reasons to get it. And if you're an early player, this is just one of the best troops you can get. New to the game, grab Pharos-Ra if you can. And that is it for the mythics, because there's only 3 of them, so we'll just have a really quick look at these legendaries. Don't normally recommend crafting legendaries. They do pop up in chests way more reliably than mythics do, but drains all mana from an enemy, which is good. Deals magic based true damage boosted by a mana drained. Not too bad. Infernal King. I like the Infernal King. I remember using this a lot as an early player again. Converts green gems to skulls and brown gems to red, then does scatter damage. But 25% chance to resurrect is surprisingly reliable as well. Feels more than 25% a lot of the time. So yeah, do like Infernal King. And Skylar creates a Bone Storm on 4 or 5 gem matches. Is one of the good things about her in a Skull based team. Really, really good. And does damage to the last enemy with a 25% chance to kill them and then submerge all other allies, which is pretty handy against those damage to all teams like Queen Bee and King Gobtruffle. And Sir Quentin Hadley, really good for night teams. All night allies start with 50% mana and converts purple to yellow and green to skulls and does damage to 2 random enemies. And is that a lot? I think it is. Let's have a little quick look-see in the summoning stones, see what's going on, see if anybody's essential in there. Nobody essential from there. Not really. Nope. Nope. I mean, normally you just... String Fiddler. Very good. Get String Fiddler if you can. Fantastic troop. Summons a Leaf Storm at the start of battle, which is green. Silences an enemy, but stops them collecting mana or casting spells. Then explode gems of one of their mana colours and gains an extra turn. String Fiddler, go get him if you can. Absolutely fantastic troop. I mean, quite often you came in here looking for the Pathfinders because they were so good, but not anymore. They're no longer essential. But who is my Mythic of the Week? Well, this is kind of a tough one because Ullor is a great troop in his own right. You're really good when it comes to freezing enemies and stuff like that, but not an absolute game changer. Phoenicia, fantastic for that good damage with the double damage Firestorm. So you kind of can regard her as an essential early player troop as well. But you can also say Pharos-Ra is a essential early player troop as well because of that 150 bonus souls from battle. But oh crikey, it's almost a tie. You almost can't split these. This is like almost like a flip of the coin. But Mythic of the Week, just because she's very versatile for early players as well as later players, I'm going to give my Mythic of the Week to Phoenicia. But Pharos-Ra, like I say, if you're an early player, I would maybe class that as even more essential than Phoenicia. So go get Pharos-Ra if you can, if you're new to the game. But there it is. There's the Soulforge video for today. I've got my journey team coming later and more besides. If you enjoyed this video, be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. Catch you again next time. Bye for now.